Wave rock in Australia looks like a giant wave about to crash, except it's made entirely of solid granite in the middle of the outback. Rising 15 meters high and stretching more than 100 meters long, it's one of the most striking natural sculptures on the planet. But the real magic begins when you ask a simple question. How did a dry, ancient landscape create something that looks like a perfect breaking wave? In this video, we'll break down the science behind the sculpted shape of wave rock and discover the rock's ancient origins and fascinating colors. And we'll also delve into the indigenous stories that give wave rock a deeper meaning. So if you love to explore natural wonders where geology meets cultural heritage, this is the perfect place to explore. Let's dive into the secrets of wave rock. Hello and welcome to Wonders of Heritage. And if you're new here, I'm Maria, and in this channel we use science to explore and understand the many wonders of our planet. Today's wonder is wave rock in Western Australia. We're going to uncover together its geological past as well as its indigenous history. As usual, we'll start with the scientific explanation behind this natural wonder. First, let's see where we can find wave rock. Located close to the small town of Hyden, wave rock is a natural wonder in Western Australia's Golden Outback, around 350 kilometers southeast of Perth. This giant 15 meters high and 110 meters long wave sits on the north face of Hyden Rock, an ancient granite inselberg rising from the flat surrounding plain. The wave rock is the highlight of the 160-hectare Hyden Wildlife Park, which is home to a wide range of Australian animals and exotic birds. Now, let's see how wave rock was formed from a geological perspective. The history of wave rock began billions of years ago, long before Australia even looked like it does today. It began deep underground as part of a huge block of ancient granite called Yilgarn Craton, which is considered to be one of the oldest intact pieces of Earth's crust, about 2.7 billion years old. Wave rock is part of a larger formation called Hyden Rock, which is made of a 2.63 billion years old special type of granite called biotite K-feldspar porphyritic monzogranite. Try saying that 10 times in a row. Briefly, what this complex name indicates is the composition and texture of the rock. It indicates a texture of large crystals embedded in a finer-grained matrix with biotite and potassium feldspar present in the rock composition. Hyden Rock started out as a huge, rounded granite dome hidden beneath the surface. Millions of years later, between 100 and 130 million years ago, the granite bedrock went through a deep weathering process that occurs when the climate is hot and humid, called lateritization. During this process, water soaked into the ground and broke down the granite unevenly. It created domes of solid, unweathered granite surrounded by deeply weathered material. Over millions of years, wind, water, and erosion wore away the softer material above. Eventually, the hard granite domes that survived the lateritization and erosion were exposed at the surface, rising from the surrounding flat landscape as inselbergs. One of these hills became Hyden Rock, and its exposed north face later developed into what we now call wave rock. Now let's get to the cool part of this geological wonder and discover why wave rock looks like a giant stone wave. The famous shape of wave rock, a curved, overhanging wall that looks like a massive frozen wave, was actually sculpted underground long before anyone could see it. While the granite dome was still underground, the soil and broken rock fragments around it, called regolith, absorbed groundwater like a sponge. As the base of the dome was more exposed to this water for longer than the top, the water caused the bottom to erode and break down faster than the top. As a result, a zone of deeply weathered material formed at the base of the granite. When erosion eventually lowered the ground level, that weak weathered material at the base easily eroded, leaving behind a curved concave base. A geological formation like wave rock is referred to as a flared slope, a term used to describe a bedrock surface that is concave, upward or inward, and is usually seen at the base of inselbergs and granitic boulders. The main processes that played a role in giving wave rock its current shape include chemical weathering. Slightly acidic rainwater reacted with the minerals present in the granite rock, which led to its weathering. Undercutting. Water eroded the lower part of the dome faster than the top side, creating the wave-like structure. Differential erosion. Softer minerals like feldspar eroded faster than tougher minerals like quartz, creating ridges and dips. Exfoliation. Temperature fluctuations caused the outer layers to peel off, smoothing the rock even more. The giant stone wave we see today was shaped underground, revealed by erosion, and polished by millions of years of weathering and erosion. So now we understand both the origin and the shape of wave rock. It is time to uncover another one of its mysteries, its colorful streaks. Wave rock's amazing colors are created by the relentless action of water over long periods of time. When rainwater or water from nearby springs flows down the curved rock face, it reacts with the minerals inside the granite. The water dissolved and redeposited chemicals like iron hydroxide and carbonates down the rock face, leaving behind streaks that look like natural paint. These colorful vertical stripes of reds, yellows, grays, oranges, and browns contribute to wave rock's charm, which is enhanced even further when sunlight hits the rock, especially in the early morning or late afternoon. But as I mentioned in the beginning, wave rock is not just a geological marvel. It is also a place of cultural heritage for the Aboriginal people. If you're interested in learning more about cultural heritage, I have two other videos, one about cultural heritage and one about natural heritage. Before moving on, if you're enjoying this video, then please like the video and subscribe to my channel for more videos about the many wonders of our planet. Now let's get back to wave rock and its cultural heritage relevance. Wave rock is a sacred place of strong cultural heritage relevance for the indigenous people, especially for the Njaki Njaki speaking people of the Noongar nation. They call it Katter Kich, and it appears in their Dreamtime stories, having been created by the giant Rainbow Serpent. The story says that the Rainbow Serpent drank all the water in the land, became swollen, and then dragged her swollen body across the land, carving her shape into the rock and leaving behind the wave rock. Moreover, for thousands of years, the area around wave rock was a gathering spot for ceremonies, dances, and community meetings. Wave rock is not just a geological wonder. It's a living symbol of indigenous history, spirituality, and connection to the land. If you enjoyed this video, then you might also enjoy this other video about another fascinating geological formation in Australia, the Devil's Marbles. Devil's Marbles in the Northern Territory is another geological formation in Australia that has a rich cultural heritage. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!